Come on down to Cinemassacre Video, where selection is the name of the game. We got comedy, drama, action, horror, movies for kids, movies for mom and dad. We got the newest releases, the hottest video games, even Laserdisc. Having a problem making a selection? Our friendly staff is always there to help out, and with our state-of-the-art database software, it's easy to find exactly what you're looking for, even if it sucks. Today's featured rental, the 1985 action-adventure blockbuster Commando. When terrorists take the daughter of John Matrix hostage, he'll stop at nothing to get her back. And with the help of the sassy stewardess Cindy, you can bet your bottom dollar that John Matrix will make them pay. Starring Arnold Schwarzenegger and Ray Dawn Chong, with Vernon Wells as Bennett and introducing Alyssa Milano as Jenny Matrix. Cinemassacre Video in the Voorhees Memorial Shopping Center next to Caldor.
Yes, you're like 7,000 days past due. Okay, all right, just come in whenever. All right, bye.
Somebody's 7,000.
Yeah, you know, I was wondering that Flash Gordon clip earlier. Like, I wonder if that was it the Mars Attacks the World one or whatever? Or
I don't think it was actually from that. It was some other movie, but
yeah. Oh, hey, how you doing?
Hey, what's up, guys? Returning this movie right here.
Yeah, Commando. This is all. You know what? In a way, Commando, I think, in a way, is the best Schwarzenegger movie.
Well, you mind if I sit? Because I'd love to talk for a bit about this, let me tell you.
Yeah, because the thing is, it's like when you think of, like, an alien came down to planet Earth and wanted to know everything about our, like, you know, our civilization, and they wanted to know, well, what is a Schwarzenegger movie? What is this all about? And it's like, well, Commando. I'd go with Commando as, like, the example, because it's got all the one-liners. It's basically just a simple action movie premise. All the Schwarzenegger tropes are in it. Mm-hmm. So basically, I think that's like your classic. It's almost like if you were to compare it to like food, that would be like your classic burger, because there's no like Terminator 2, Total Recall, like those type movies. Those would be like your like bacon burger or something. It's something extra, because this movie doesn't have time travel. Doesn't have like, you know, dream worlds or anything like that.
It's classic.
Yeah, all it is just he's a like an ex-marine or somebody, you know.
Yeah, some
like,
special ops. He's an ex-commando.
Okay, and like his daughter gets kidnapped by the bad guys, and he's got to go rescue his daughter, and that's all there is to
and
it.
it starts the second the movie starts. It's just already going.
Yeah.
Like they take like a few minutes to show you, like, yes, he loves his daughter. But they just show you like
in an opening music montage.
Actually, I love this movie so much. I've actually prepared several pages of notes about it.
How many pages of notes?
Well, I have two full pages, but then the third one is just, it has an amazing ending.
You mean just to tell us guys at the video store?
Yeah, because I knew I'd be coming back after we had that rousing He-Man conversation that I wanted to make sure I was prepared for the next time.
That's a smart
idea.
Because you're a psychopath.
Yes,
if that one happened yet, we'll see.
And that's smart too. You're not hiding notes behind a blockbuster tape or anything.
So basically, the point of this movie is that he's got to save his daughter, right?
Yeah, and then of course it starts off like you were saying, where it's just this montage of them like eating ice cream.
Yeah. So the ice cream cone makes me laugh, because every time like she just like shoves the ice cream cone in his face, I just imagine him like caving her face.
Well, it's
like it's not funny to him.
He just like fuck you.
Like everything's all sweet.
And then it's just like
which does not happen, but that would make a great spoof of somebody. That would be like the like, you know how it seemed like in the 80s and 90s, like there was a spoof of almost every movie, like Hot Shots,
or like Lethal Weapon. There was a Loaded Weapon.
And Naked Gun, of course, which is like one of my favorites.
Those are good.
But yeah, so you see you see these awful like just regular dudes. Like, you don't know they're military, you just know that they're guys. Like, you know, there's this guy, wakes up with his wife, he just gets mowed down, putting out his trash as a regular, you know, like taking cat litter and putting it in the box, you know, and all this stuff. And then you some guy, car salesman, and then some weird Freddie Mercury with wearing chainmail fisherman, and he just blows up. And then you see the buffest man literally in the world at the time, carrying a lot. So, like, how are they gonna kill him anyway? Like,
oh yeah, that's the thing. The first guy, I mean, he was like waking up for his coffee, and he gets shot with Uzis going to the garbage, which is weird because I'm always like, how come like no neighbors came out? Like if at like
I wouldn't
6
come
in the
out.
morning you hear just like gunfire in your neighborhood. I mean, yeah, that's true. I guess nobody would, but like no one said like, hey, there's a whole bunch of gunfire going on. It
And
was
this
just
is like early on. We're just talking about like one little part. There's so much.
Yeah.
Like
there's so much.
It's like you can go through this whole movie from like the moment it
Oh,
starts.
and there's so many weapons, and like those are Mac 10s, by the way.
Yeah,
not
that's true.
Uzis.
Sorry.
Come on. There's a lot of okay. So
Uzi 9mm.
So now the opening montage ends, which was amazing. And now they're back in the house and they're just shooting the shit. And I don't know, notice, but on the fridge there was a Betty Boop and a Felix the Cat magnet.
Yeah.
I just like they just focus on them for some reason.
See, there's like details like that almost get like they get lost. Like I didn't remember that because so much.
Well, because I
happens.
saw it as a kid, I'm just like, why is he into the? All right,
Well, too, like what I don't get is the sandwich she makes him, and he's like, "What's in this?" And she's like, "You don't want to know." It's like, well, what's your fucking problem? Like, why did you make a sandwich you shouldn't be eating for your dad? Like,
and
what?
who goes out to eat ice cream and then eats lunch?
Yeah, like when is all this like happening? Kind of like they're out for ice cream, and then they're feeding a deer, and then he's teaching her karate.
Maybe
and stuff,
maybe
like,
the deer's on the sandwich.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe
She
it's just
she gave it one of those like moves that she's learning, and now they're eating venison.
I can't think about her without thinking of Who's the Boss. I wish.
Oh, Alyssa Milano.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, yeah, that is Alyssa Milano, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know if she
So,
was in any other movies.
What I love best about this movie, I think, what I liked about it as a kid, and yes, I did see this when I was a little bit too young to watch it. I think it might have been like one of the first F words I've ever heard.
Right.
But anyway, like what I loved about this was that it is so much like a video game. It's basically like a video game movie to a video game that doesn't really exist, even though there is a Commando game.
What video game?
But well, there would every video game. It's
Well, I mean,
because
there was Commando on the NES. I thought Commando on the NES was for this movie.
Yeah, which I did the joke about in the Nerd movie, but But the thing is, it's basically the whole movie is formatted like a game because first they introduce you to the main villain, who's Bennett, and then he's got these henchmen, and then he's got to rescue John Matrix has to rescue his daughter, and the whole movie is set up like these set pieces, which each are like levels. So he's got to take out one of the henchmen like one at a time, and basically it works up to him fighting Bennett at the end, and it puts that in your head, and it's like, okay, well, this movie's not over until he kills this guy, and you already have that mapped out in your head. So when you watch it, it's so satisfying. That's just like increasing levels.
Yeah. Well, it's great because he even says like, "Oh, Sully, I'm going to kill you last," but then ends up killing him second. Like he's just
like the whole thing with Sully. Like Sully's amazing in it too because he plays like the most scuzzy dude ever. Like he is just
fucking
gross.
whore.
You fucking whore.
You fucking whore.
What was his like pickup line before that?
When he's like, "Oh, it seems like he's mad at you," or he's like, "Oh, I forget what he says."
Yeah,
like,
but it was like this really bad, like. Just,
and she's like, "Well, from here it looks like a nightmare. Leave me alone."
Yeah, he's like she throws it right back in his face because he's such a
and
perv.
he's weird and like creepy looking. Like he is just like.
Is he the one where Arnold's like, "You're the last one"?
I'm
but of course when he says,
"I'm gonna kill you last." Yeah, I lied.
I lied.
And when he says "I lied," I think the next line after that is, what happened? I let him go.
Yeah, I let him go.
You have one-liners just back to back.
Yeah, exactly. You have one-liners, four one-liners, four one-liners.
But the thing is,
there's so many, and some of them are ADR, and it's pretty good.
The whole thing too, though, is like the mall scene where when he first, he brings,
he's swinging off the thing.
he swings off the thing. He rips the entire phone booth off the ground while Sully's still in it, which is amazing too, because he's like and he's like inside that thing, and then he throws all the cops off. And like John Matrix is like a scary.
He rips the phone booth out.
I love the mall security because the guy's like, "We need backup." He's one gigantic motherfucker. It's like the funniest.
One gigantic motherfucker.
Wait, but not only that, Sully at that point before at the phone booth, he's in the mall to do some shady deal with a guy in like the Ruby Tuesday at the mall.
Yeah.
Like they didn't, it's not the docks, they went to the mall.
You would never expect it there.
Yeah.
That's true.
The stewardess girl, if you think about it, right? If she had just helped John Matrix real quick and listened to him, but she rats him out and gets like 5 people killed
Yeah.
in the mall.
Oh my gosh,
and
I
then
didn't even think of
throws
that.
a guy down the stairs to save John.
Oh, yeah, because a bunch
actually
of the
after
cops
she
died.
realized. Yeah,
And then
they got shot by Sully. They got shot by the other guy who Sully was doing a deal with. She killed those people. The blood is on her hands.
Oh, I
those
love this
people,
movie.
like-
I love this fucking movie.
And she comes out all
It's
pissed.
so crazy.
Yeah.
She runs out of the place to get back in her car, and she's like, "I hate you too. Hey, let's save your daughter now."
Yeah.
I love when she's like, I just saw you rip a phone booth out of the ground, and you're not even telling me what's going on. Are you going to tell me anything? And he goes, no.
No.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she just like I like her. She was.
I love.
she was
Yeah,
fun.
yeah.
I love how
And then
he-
she gets the bazooka at the end, and she
Oh,
starts
yeah.
blowing shit up.
Shoots it the wrong way first.
Yeah,
and
she blows up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Blows up, like,
because
the
she
rock.
blows up the police vehicle that he's
Well,
in.
that's after he loots the gun store with a bulldozer that for some reason he knew
Was
there was
there.
going to be a bulldozer next to a gun store that he could rip the wall down.
I don't know this. I don't know this movie probably quite as well as you guys, but there's a scene I believe where he's on the plane and all of a sudden he like strangles a guy, like snaps his
Yeah.
neck,
Yeah.
and then
He's
the
dead tired.
stewardess comes. Yeah, he's like dead tired. But after that, doesn't he like go into like the wheel of the plane, like jump out?
Yeah.
of
The
it?
landing gear. Yeah.
How does that
He's
work?
hanging
Like,
on
how
the
did he
And
get
apparently
there?
he did that for real, right?
He hung on the landing gear while it
Yeah.
was on the ground, but I don't know who jumped out of the
What-
plane.
I don't know,
if someone-
like,
Like he
just
wasn't
thinking-
actually like up in
Yeah.
the sky.
If
but
you're
they-
on a plane and you're sitting on a plane,
Yeah.
like in the seat, how do you get from the plane
Well,
to
you
like
saw
the
him-
wheel?
He goes
like,
into the cargo area.
is that
So,
what he
like,
does?
I mean, I don't know if that
the
really
stewardess
works.
is
but
like-
he goes.
Yeah.
She's like, "Hey, you can't," and he's like, "I'm ass sick."
Yeah.
And he just walks past
He
her.
goes
like-
in the back, and there's a shot of him in the.
It's anybody just
Yeah.
punches
Try,
through the
go
ground.
ahead and try that on a plane. Like go in the back and be like, yo, I gotta go
That's
down.
what I'm saying.
here.
Get from your seat to the wheel. See how
Mind
that
you,
works.
Yeah,
this
right.
is this is 1985.
Nowadays,
yeah.
Sully's smoking in the airport.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a lot easier to get in and around planes at
That's,
that point.
that's
Yeah.
one thing I'll say too is this movie. There's no way this movie could happen now because the second Sully sees John Matrix, he just will be on his cell phone, but he has to run to the phone booth.
That's right.
To report him. Like everyone had
Yeah.
to run to a phone booth to call this guy. Like no one could just and like in the beginning too, like. When they pull out the bomb to blow up the boat,
Yeah.
and he pulls out like this
This
giant
RC car.
remote with the fucking antenna is huge and everything, and he hits the button.
Well, the thing is, because Bennett
It's like,
doesn't.
nowadays it would just be like,
I imagine like kids
one
watching
little
this
thing.
today, they'd be like, "Why does he need to do this?"
Yeah, like what is that thing?
Yeah.
Like what is
funny,
what's that booth he got into? Why is there a phone in that thing?
They show Bennett on the boat, and he looks back at Cook and the other guy who gets shot in the head was like, you know, where he's like,
Oh,
yeah, and he goes, and there's like 1 second between him driving the boat going, woo, and
Yeah.
blowing up. I'm like, where's the, like,
Oh, yeah.
he was clearly on it.
the thing is too, like I'm like, is he looking at this guy from where they are? There's like no way he would see them, like the weird
They're weird
exchange.
cut-ins,
The
yeah.
one thing too, like to go back to the beginning, like once they see the helicopters come in. The guy comes out and says, "Hey, John,
just
someone's
starts.
killing your people." And then there's somebody already there, and he smells them. He says, "Like he's like,
Well,
I was able to smell them."
They said that they were tracking Kirby there.
Yeah.
Which means they had a tracker on the helicopter, and when he came, they somehow drove up that specific
Yeah, just
mountain
knew.
in their Plymouth minivan to
Yeah,
to
and I
go.
love that guy who's sitting in the house and he's like, "Let's bargain, John," and he's just like, "No," like shoots the guy, like doesn't listen to him. Like it was great.
He's like, right, wrong.
yeah, it just kills
Right,
him. And then he
wrong.
drives the car down with like no brakes and it's just going all over the
Yeah,
place.
'cause
Yeah.
they pulled this like cords
Yeah.
in his brake line out.
That part's great.
The thing is, every single shot in the movie is just like, aside from when they're on the plane, which is a little boring, like on the
Yeah.
seaplane, every shot of this movie, more and more happens.
Yeah.
Because like you said, it's pretty much the montage menagerie of all 80s horror films.
Yeah.
And this is before Predator, this is before Terminator 2, this is before RoboCop, or, you know, late 80s action, like, really, like, this one kind of started
This was
all that off.
85, so, and also, like we were saying earlier, like, where it's like, nowadays I feel like all movies, like, a lot of movies have, like, video games as their inspiration, while this movie inspired a ton of games. Like Contra is definitely the whole scene at the end where he's running with the machine gun without a shirt and he's just
Well,
blowing
back then it
everybody
worked in
away, like-
reverse. It was kind of like Alien. Had
Yeah.
inspired a lot of video games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now it works.
Well,
the
didn't
other
they
way.
even for Contra? Didn't they even take the shot from both Predator and Kyle Reese in Terminator? Or
that was Kyle Reese was
From
Metal
Metal Gear.
Gear.
Oh,
But even
okay.
Metal Gear
He's
is
in the
definitely
movie,
inspired
in
by
Commando.
Commando. Like there's parts in it that, like,
in Commando, remember when he sneaks into the base where they have their tanks and they're setting up to leave, and he's crawling under the tank, he knocks a guy out and puts him in the closet. It was like so Metal Gear, and Metal Gear came out for the MSX like 2 years later.
Yeah,
like this
same
movie,
thing with Contra. It was 2 years later.
Commando clearly inspired Kojima and all that stuff too.
Oh.
All those
Also,
dudes.
the music. Got to talk about like the
the
music
steel
is
drums.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
the
those steel drums.
But it's always going. It seems like the music never stops in this movie. Like it almost feels like one long trailer in a way.
Yeah.
Because it just even like the simplest things. It's like the music is just going like constantly.
The thing is, this movie is so much more like, rather than a movie, it's like almost like Arnold's demo reel of like what he can do as an action hero, rather than it being.
Well, that's the whole thing.
You know, like,
it's definitely his demo reel because, mind you, he's like if you look at the box, he's just like giant on the cover, and on the back, he's on the back 4 times. Like it's clearly his demo where like they're like, hey, we're gonna make you the next thing, because look at all the bad guys he kills. He kills like the one Spanish dictator guy. He kills Bennett, who's just like a scrawny like, oh, I'm
that's
Australian.
The thing. How
like,
did that guy think he was gonna beat Arnold?
Because
Bennett was like.
I met Vern Wells, who plays Bennett. He actually auditioned for as the villain in Angry Video Game Nerd, and it was so amazing, and his audition was awesome. He put so much into it, and you know when you pick an actor in a movie, it's not necessarily you're not picking the best actor per se. You're just picking the person who fits the role the best. So unfortunately, we didn't use him, but I would totally cast him in something else because he was so good. He was so kind. It was just awesome.
Yeah, he's a nice dude. Like I met him before at like a Comic-Con. I was like interviewing him for something.
Oh, cool.
And we're like, oh, did you ever blow off that steam? You know, even though it says let off some steam, and he goes, oh yeah, man, blowing a lot of things. Like he was just like really like playing along. And he was like a good dude, but. He you know, he's a nice guy and everything, but he's not as intimidating physically.
Yeah,
especially in this.
He fought. He puts up this amazing fight with Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
It's probably it might be my favorite like Schwarzenegger fight in a movie.
In the boiler room.
Because it's like Bennett gets electrocuted and then there's like
there's fire. It is like a video game fight stage. Like, they go through all these different phases.
And they fall down the thing.
The electricity charges him up. It gets Bennett stronger.
Before this amazing end fight happens, though, I got to talk about like even before that, as he's going into this whatever fortress or whatever. I feel like this movie has to be the staple for all action movies where the hero can just go in the middle of the day. I was talking earlier about a movie called Ninja 3: The Domination, where it's just like this ninja on a...
We have that over in the martial arts section.
Yes, a ninja on a golf course. It's like, how, like, not camouflage. But here's Arnold Schwarzenegger covered in camouflage, but he's out there, and there's 100,000 dudes shooting at him, but Arnold doesn't get shot.
No.
Not just
he just mows him down. And like they have everything, everybody's shooting at him, but nobody hits him.
And the thing is, and all those guys, like, take screenshots. If you take screenshots of how the U.S. military guys look and how the schlubs at like the evil army base and stuff look, they just look like regular guys. Like, there's not a single person in this movie as physically intimidating as Arnold, and that's why you think it's part of his demo reel. Because you would assume that the bad guy in this movie, like the one he fights at the end, would be like Jesse the Body Ventura or another wrestler or, you know, Carl Weathers or someone like that. But it's not. It's, you know, a guy.
They should have had Stallone for that part.
I was just thinking about Evil Dead for a second, because you know the shed scene in Commando?
Do
you think by any chance in Evil Dead 2 they got the idea of the work shed thing where he goes into the shed and he just finds these weapons, like there's blades and like everything, and then he's like, you know, he's tossing like the blade at the guy.
And he cuts his head off.
It cuts like the top of his head a little. He's like,
and there's more footage of that too. Like on one of the DVDs, there's like an unrated like extra footage, so you see more like of, like
he grabs that one dude and just cuts his arm off.
When I saw as a kid, I couldn't believe that.
There's also
it has to be
which
Arnold's,
is in the original, I think, with the arm gets cut off.
It has to be Arnold's highest kill count movie of all time.
Probably,
maybe
like of on-screen deaths, like not like a city gets blown up or something, but like on-screen deaths.
Not even Terminator, because the Terminator is like so focused on like
even in Terminator 2, where he's out the window just shooting the cops in the legs.
He's not even killing them.
He's not even killing them. Like that was only like 20 guys. Like 20 guys die in the shed scene. You know, like 20 guys died at the mall.
One thing about that shed scene is there's this one guy who's like firing his gun, but he's like you can tell, like I guess it was making him flinch really hard, because he's just like like he's making this weird face the whole time he's firing the gun. Okay. It's like making me laugh the whole time.
Well, that's because much I said is Arnold's so intimidating compared to the other guys. I think they just got regular dudes, not even stunt actors.
Yeah,
They're like, hey, what are you guys doing today? You want to go fight the largest man in the world? Yeah. He's gonna cut your arm off. And if you have to watch in slow motion the scene where he throws the Arnold saw off the bus because it comes off of his head first because it's clearly like a headpiece. It's pretty funny. It just like it looks like his toupee flew off.
I don't know if you happen to notice, but in that mall scene that you just mentioned, when the security, like mall security, comes after him. Usually when you go to the mall, if there's mall security, there's like one or two. Like, dude, there's like 400 like mall security guys.
It's weird because sometimes it's mall security wearing the brown and they have nightsticks, and then cops come with actual guns. Okay. So it's kind of weird.
Oh, I thought they were just mall security with guns or something.
Well, they might be. Yeah, but they're wearing like black instead of the brown. I don't know. You don't really think about it. Well, mind you, it's a mall that has giant colored tubes everywhere. You can swing.
And that's the only thing too is like that no cops were called up until he decides to steal the gun store stuff.
A silent alarm, probably.
Yeah, but it's just funny that it's like he did all that. Like of course, I guess that's the thing is like they were like, look, we gotta finally show like, look, he's gonna he has to face some sort of consequence, even though they do rocket launcher a police vehicle. Like
that's the problem,
don't
right?
Kill anyone.
So he gets caught by the cops.
Thing. What if it just she rocket launchers it and it just blows?
It kills
the truck
everybody.
Up, kills everybody. Movie ends right there.
Or doesn't she like first she shoots it, but she has it pointed the wrong
backward,
way?
Yeah, but then she goes like,
was that
the
road behind her? Was that
the police van?
Okay, and then that was the wrong thing.
She shoots it the wrong way and then shoots it the right way, and he goes like, "How'd you learn how to do this?" He's like, "I read the instructions." Like, no, you didn't.
You shot it the wrong way the first time.
So she has a lot of character development too, which is very rare for especially like a you know, like the sidekick female like love interest of an 80s horror film.
Ray Dong Chong.
Action film. Oh, Ray Dong Chong.
Ray Dong Chong is her name,
Oh, okay.
Was she in anything else?
The character name.
I don't know.
Yeah, Cindy.
Yeah.
So, to back up a little, like, where did all those guns come in the like how did he know that place had weaponry in it? Like, there's a backstory that we don't know where he's like, that's my buddy Steve's place. He's a little busy, so I'm just gonna run it.
There's a lot of things you don't know. Like, how about doesn't he get the bulldozer?
Yeah, that's
like, how do you when does that?
I can understand.
You don't see him like go out. I feel like there's a missing scene where he like goes outside. He like he steals like the keys.
He's trying to figure out how to get in or something.
Everything has the keys in it.
Yeah.
The bulldozer, the sky plane, Sully's car.
Yeah. Well, I feel like he pulled the guy down, he knocked him out, he stole the keys. You just don't see any of that happen.
And if there isn't keys, then you got just those wires. You always have that.
Oh yeah, they hot wire. Yeah.
But it's like I can understand like maybe he's like, oh, I know this gun store down the road, I'm gonna do it, but the bulldozer is what I think
but
is
it
just
wasn't
a
gun store. It was an army surplus
like,
store that had a giant fake door in the back that had bazookas in it. You don't go to the Army Navy store like you go there for khaki pants, not boa knives and missile launchers. Maybe it was different.
That's the thing too. Like that, what gun store can you go to right now, or any store that has a rocket launcher? Like you can't just get.
That's why exactly. It was some. It was some crazed Vietnam veterans like stash that he knew about and didn't like the guy because he clearly destroyed his store.
I would bet he would have to be played by Dick Miller if he was in.
Oh yeah, Dick Miller from right here in Gremlins 2.
And in both the Gremlins. He's in Terminator as the weapons salesman. He's in Night of the Creeps. He's the guy who gets
Night of the Creeps. I love Night of the Creeps.
That, because they did the throwbacks with I'll be back and stuff. It'd be great if he was the army surplus guy and they do a few lines. Where he's just like, I need a phaser rifle and 9mm bullets, and he's like,
he's the janitor in Chopping Mall. You ever seen Chopping
Mall?
I love Chopping Mall.
I've never seen. Yeah, I've always wanted.
They just re-released it.
Chopping Mall.
So, and after he gets arrested, John Matrix, Mr. Matrix, he goes, hey, I know I'm being arrested for bulldozing a store and having a bazooka. Contact General Kirby, he'll set this straight. And then when he's on the seaplane, he's telling Bill Paxton on the radio, hey, contact General Kirby, he'll set this straight. Why didn't he call from Cook's motel room, hey Kirby, I need the entire army at this island?
Right.
because then they would have flew him in like a normal plane. It wasn't like, hey, we need to get there in 2 hours.
Yeah.
You know, we can get there in 5 seconds. A fighter jet, or like, well, I guess they would have killed his daughter.
I just
Yeah,
assumed he
that's
wanted
true.
to do it himself because he's a manly man.
Yeah,
That's
like
you
he
know?
wants to make sure that they all feel the wrath, I guess.
Oh,
Yeah.
so the
Like,
manly man,
revenge.
the manly man only needs help when he gets arrested. Is that what the
Yeah.
movie's trying to say? There's this undertone you want to talk about, Mike?
The thing too is I like at the end of the movie when they go and it's like I guess she's just part of the family now. Like she never met the daughter, but she goes out and like hugs the daughter.
Well,
like
by the way, that
like,
scene. Count how many head turns are in it, because it seems like
They're always...
you got the general comes in and wants to bring John Matrix back into the force or whatever. Or,
Yeah.
And then
Your unit, John.
until the next time.
Yeah.
And he's like, there won't be another time. And then like he walks off and he's got the daughter, and then Cindy's over there on that plane boat thing.
Yeah, the seaplane.
And when they get on, and then you have the general, you have Cindy, you have Arnold, and the daughter, and like it's the whole scene is like made up of like head turns. It's just like. You know, especially Arnold, because he always does that like head turn.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, his neck's always like...
Yeah, so it's kind of like this. You have this little bit of a silent, scene.
That's a weird scene, because that's another scene where like the U.S. Army comes in, and it's like, it's like guys like me and Kieran got off the plane, like, oh, we're here. It's like the worst guys ever, where like the biggest monstrous things coming down the beach is Arnold Schwarzenegger with his little girl like on his shoulder, like.
And how does he kind of like? The whole thing is like Arnold murdered like a lot of people
Like,
in that
it's
thing,
over
but I
200.
guess it's cool because he's such a decorated war guy
Well, those
or
guys were a
whatever.
problem
But like,
anyway.
They were evil.
But it's like, what happens after that? Like, does somebody go in and, I guess, tag up all these? Like, somebody literally has to, like, clean up after John Matrix, after everything he's done.
Yeah, and he killed the El Presidente and all that.
Yeah.
And he went to take over that country, what was Valverde?
Valverde,
That place looked like it kind of sucked. I don't know.
Which, I love the part, actually, when the plane lands, finally, and they go and find that, the dude at the end with the dead, tired guy. Because, like, seriously, can you imagine... You're like how when it shows his face fall down and he's all like, and it's like a stewardess probably found that guy. That's like the worst day of her life.
He was blue and covered in blood.
Yeah, he's just like dead.
He's wearing awful makeup. He looked like a Universal monster like kill. Like he's just like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Imagine her. It's like, man, the one guy hasn't been in his seat for 10 hours.
His other friend is just passed the.
Yeah. So one guy's passed out and the other guy's in the bathroom for 10 hours. That's what the stewardess thinks. And then when the stewardess is like, oh no, this guy died. Where's his friend? He's not on the plane. Everyone's fine with that.
Yeah,
it's like,
They just put him in a bed and bring
There's
him out.
nothing to connect there or anything.
Yeah.
There's an editing thing that I don't know if I've ever seen in anything prior to Commando. It was right when he's fighting Bennett, right after the part where he goes, bullshit, and then he hits him with like a combo of punches. And usually in fight scenes around then, you'd see the fight in real time.
Yeah.
But they like cut it down to where all you see is like
the punches.
pow, 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 pow. And as a kid, that just blew my mind. I'm like, oh my God. And that's when we did that in the Bugs Bunny video, where we did in our own amateur kind of way. We tried to like emulate that. Bullshit!
I thought of it as professional, but you can call
Okay.
Well, I mean, there's just a scene where he starts suiting up too, and it's just like shot, 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 and it's almost like Edgar Wright, editing style. But of course, this happened in '85.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like the movie did so much, like just thematically.
It's cinematic genius.
It built like there's a lot of action movies before this, but I think this is the
this one's totally visual. It's not you don't have really much story. There's barely any story, and even what it is just like they give you enough to be like, okay, I understand he loves his daughter, but he's going to save her. These guys did this. He's going to kill them all, and you just want to see him kill them all, and that's what it is.
Like this is your quintessential '80s action movie. It's a stupid movie, but it's great.
Yeah,
and it's called Commando, but I don't think they say the name Commando once in the film.
No,
they do in the radio things. It's like Commando. John Matrix.
Oh, that's his code name.
Yeah,
okay.
so it's like that, but that's about it.
It's impressive because you have him, you have his the sidekick Cindy, which is weird because she's not really the love interest at all. Even at the end, like they never kiss. It's never like that. She's a stewardess.
She had a thing for Arnold though.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah. In the
Oh,
interviews,
really? Like,
she was like talking about like.
Well, she also like wants to become a pilot and actually can do something. She's not like the damsel in distress because she's not the one being saved to her. She's just helping. She was in the wrong place, wrong time, which is interesting for the time period.
Yeah. She's just kind of along for the adventure.
She's like me. I'm gonna just hang up
if there
Arnold
was a
and
sequel, like maybe she'd be. Well, here's the thing: there is no sequel to Commando, and that's almost like a good thing, really. I mean, it depends how you look at it. But this movie just is just one of a kind. There's no sequels, but if they did, because now everything's getting sequels, like or reboots. Like if they were to do another Commando, the only thing I can think is like. Maybe have the daughter now
be a badass.
Yeah, and now she has to rescue her dad, and then you could have Schwarzenegger in a smaller role, and because I mean, how much can you do now?
Yeah.
So have Schwarzenegger in a smaller role, and then get like who's like the newest female action star.
I mean, they could probably get Alyssa Milano, right?
Well,
like she was in. Does she still do like stuff?
What would she do? Action like?
Well, she was in Charmed, right, or something.
Yeah.
What was it? Yeah.
But you could
that was
get
like an actiony show.
Yeah, but you can get like an action star. Like,
I don't know.
Yeah, but if it wasn't his actual daughter, I think it'd be more interesting. Like, well, I was looking it up. I think there is a Commando 2.
Oh,
but
really?
But it's an Indian film.
Oh, okay.
And India's getting real huge.
Meaning
like Bollywood's getting real huge on
yeah.
Action movies recently. It's like this is their 80s.
It's a big thing, yeah, because they do a lot of like unofficial like Rambo movies.
So it could
like,
be what Commando 2. Like I'm not sure if there was a Commando 1 in India that's completely different from this Commando, or this is the Commando 2, the unofficial sequel. But I kind of want to check it out. I think I deserve John Matrix that chance.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's great. I love
the song at the end.
Oh yeah, that's
Power
one thing.
Station.
Yeah,
Fight for Love.
that ending theme song when it kicks in and he's leaving and it's just the dun dun dun.
And what's great
like,
is
it's so
yeah.
it just pumps you up even though it's over. You feel like, man, this is like such a good song.
It's great because like the whole part where it's like, leave anything for us. Just bodies. That's in the song.
A lot of bodies.
That's in the song on the album. Yeah.
Wow.
It's part of the song.
Wow.
It's so, and then they then they take off in their stolen seaplane, which everyone's fine with, and then they buzz the island. They like fly past like just to piss everyone off. But
you always gotta have a good song, like in Over the Top has the Sammy Hagar song "Winner Takes It All."
Yeah. Yeah, well, and Demolition Man had a song too that Sting made, but no one cares about it. But that one had a song too.
Oh.
But I don't know. This is definitely one of the best action films of all time.
Yeah, it's definitely on my top like Arnold Schwarzenegger movies.
Top
like,
5.
Because Arnold Schwarzenegger, I'm just gonna say, is probably one of my top 5 people in the world. I think he's.
This includes your own.
Yeah,
family.
and yeah. Sorry, like mom and
They're
dad.
not even on the list.
Yeah, it's all just Arnold. Actually, it's just 5. Top
Like
5
in all
is Arnold
seriousness,
Schwarzenegger.
like I'd put Terminator 2 number one, hands down.
Yeah.
But this is the best like cliche Schwarzenegger movie.
To be honest, I think if I were to, my favorite might be Total Recall.
That's
Really?
really
And
yeah.
I really love Terminator 2.
Get your ass to
Terminator
Mars.
1 and 2, but Total Recall is probably like my favorite Schwarzenegger film of all time.
I'm a kindergarten cop guy.
Oh, that's a good,
good
yeah,
too.
you know what, that's a great
Yeah, I
one
mean,
too.
You know what? The funniest part I was thinking about recently in Kindergarten Cop was when he says there's no bathroom. Like, how brutal is that? Like, the kid's like, I gotta go to the bathroom. And he's like, I don't want any of that. Like, there is no bathroom. There is no bathroom. It's like,
I do love when they take guys like, you know, who are only action like him, or someone like Joe Pesci from the mob movies, and then they put him in comedies and stuff. It always works really well. And Arnold's comedy movies are awesome.
Stop or my mom will shoot.
Yeah.
oh,
Well,
it's Stallone.
yeah,
Well,
but
well, he's talking about it.
Action movie,
Yeah, yeah.
action stars who do comedy
Yeah,
stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, good stuff. Yeah, Commando. Must. It's a must.
Yeah.
must see.
Must see.
9 out of 10.
9 out of 10. Why is it a 10 out of 10?
I don't know. I was just giving, you know, because everybody was does 9 out of 10. I give it 5 bags of popcorn. Like,
I give it 5 bats.
Would you guys rent it again? I guess is that the thing?
I'm actually renting it again right now.
Oh, you're coming in to re-rent.
Yeah, I just wanted to, you know, I had to.
I think you can
Pay
call
my
and
late
you can
fees.
call and do that. Oh, you came in to talk about it.
Yeah.
Did we
that
talk
too.
about everything in your
Oh,
notes?
sorry. One second.
yeah.
I gotta get this here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Can I read
Yeah.
your manifesto?
No, only Laserdisc and VHS. Okay.
Thank you for checking out Cinemassacre Rental Reviews. Take a look at our other videos, and if you want to get some sweet Cinemassacre merchandise, head on over to store.screenwavemedia.com.